12 Chancellor's reports. Chancellor, the floor is yours. Pardon that interruption.
Good evening, everyone, the Board of Trustees and colleagues in the community. As we go through the agenda, I'd like to put in order the presentations from the presidents. I'd like to start with Merritt College and Dr. Johnson. As last meeting, I almost forgot him, so you go to the top of the list this time, Dr. Johnson, to be followed by Dr. Rudy Besikof at Laney College, and then Dr. Nathaniel Jones at the third, at the Jones at College of Alameda, and then Dr. Angélica Garcia would be last. I would also like to introduce our CTO, our technology officer, Antoine Mehouelley, and he will give an update on the return to campus in regards to the technology. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Johnson, followed by Laney College, Dr. Besikof, Dr. Jones, Dr. Angélica Garcia, and last, Antoine Mehouelley.
Thank you. So good evening, President Napoli Bellarice, Board of Trustees, Chancellor, and Peralta community. This is the President's report for Merritt College. I want to begin tonight by sending some encouragement and some positive thoughts to our students in the radiologic science program. Last Tuesday, the department welcomed representatives from 9 of our local hospital affiliates for a socially distanced and masked, for the record, luncheon and advisory board meeting. The event also marked the beginning of the fall placement period, which is a very exciting time. The fall placement period where our new students who are aided by our clinical instructors and our Merritt second year students, they learn the details of their clinical assignments. So that's good stuff. And just to take a moment to underscore, say the prominence of our radiologic science program, just want to note that of the 9 clinical instructors present, 6 of them were graduates of our department. And of the 5 instructors who were represented, 5 Merritt instructors, 2 of them were graduates of our program. So I think that's something worth noting. I want to say finally that the board meeting concluded with an assessment of program retention, licensing exam pass rates, which are very high, our employment rate for graduates, and graduate satisfaction as evidenced by survey results. So I would say that all signs are pointing to our continued success. I want to go back to something that happened on Wednesday, September 29th. Merritt College had the privilege of hosting a critical discussion on the topic, what does the fight for LGBTQ plus rights have to do with racial justice? Seems to be a topic that's rather charged at the moment, given the popular culture. Conversation was led by Ms. Ronit Montebuena-Lev, who is a health educator. She's also the founder of Burden B Education, which is an organization dedicated to young people, empowering young people to practice self-care. She's a former classroom teacher as well. And I want to call attention to the dialogue that we had with her for 2 reasons, I'll say. First, I think the discussion really underscored the need for greater recognition of how intersectionality, which is the interconnection of race, gender, class, age, physical ability, etc., how those things shape the ways in which we see each other. And once we gain greater clarity about that, I think we can begin to bridge artificial divides and understand that racism, classism, homophobia, and all of those things are really just branches from the same poisonous tree. So she helped bring that in sharper focus for us. But her talk was also instructive in that it challenged us, challenged me to examine our institutional commitment for equity for everyone. As president of Merritt College, I need to ensure that all of our students, staff members, faculty, and administrators feel seen and heard each and every day, and not just during a designated month of acknowledgement, or when some unspeakable tragedy befalls a particular community. So with that, we can and we will do better. Finally, on October 4th through October 8th marked Tutor Appreciation Week here at Merritt College. And since we are grateful every day for our peer tutors and the Learning Center, I want to take a moment to recognize their work here as well. Just reading the mission of Merritt College Learning Center, that mission is to serve as a campus hub for learners and to assist students in becoming more efficient, effective, and independent learners. The primary focus is to provide supplemental academic support and to help students reinforce the mastery of concepts and college courses across the curriculum. That's a mouthful. But that work is carried out by 3 people primarily: the amazing Isela Santana, Charlotte Victorian, and Walter Johnson. They all do an incredible job of maintaining accessibility to Learning Center resources during this most difficult time, a time when most of our learners need their support the most. But the real superstars are the tutors themselves. So I'm going to attempt to, I should have cleared this with Mark Johnson. I'm going to attempt to share a screen here because they did something really cool in terms of honoring the students who utilized the Learning Center, created this collage of sorts to honor the people who helped them. So I'm going to try to do this, see if I can do this. Can everybody see that? Is that up? So
Yes.
They wrote all these amazing messages to our tutors. And I was really moved by this. And they called them out by name. So scroll down a little bit. I give you guys the link. Give you all the link if you want to see it. But it was really a cool thing for them to express their appreciation. Because again, these tutors have classes themselves that they're trying to work through. But to be able to take the time to spend with their classmates to help them through midterms and their papers and stuff. So you all can go back and visit at your leisure, but I just wanted to make sure that we showed our tutors some love. So that concludes the report from Merritt College tonight.
Good evening, Chancellor Jackson, President Napoli Abella-Reese, members of the board, colleagues in education, valued community members, and most importantly, our students. Today at Laney was day 1 of our Fall Fest one-stop enrollment and services event. With any new event or initiative like this one, as for the first time we were starting at mid-semester, we held it mid-semester as opposed to beginning of the semester, our hope was that at least a couple people would turn up. I'm pleased to report that as we end the first of our 2 days, we had a great turnout of roughly 50 students, especially those seeking assistance from our financial aid and counseling areas. Also, with strong showing on a campus level from our APAS, Puente, Umoja library staff, handing out Chromebooks and sharing great information about the library as always. Engineering professor Mallory Barkdale and her students, restoring our communities, Laney's welcome services. And to top it off, we had 3 students today sign up for Coach Precious Gerardo's women's water polo team. The Fall Fest Fund continues tomorrow at the flagpole from noon until 6 o'clock. I would like to say thank you to the many Laney College colleagues who are making today and tomorrow happen, not only for our students, but for the community. Within the board report you have tonight, there are updates about a performance by Laney's mom group at the Golden State Warriors October 6th Maya Mom Night. Also, a recap of the October 6th Laney chapter of the Poor People's Teach-In campaign, and highlights of a great Laney meeting in September with leaders of Oakland's Asian Pacific Islander community. However, things have really been busy at and near the tower, so I have a few additional items to share. First, as part of our ongoing efforts to promote all of Laney's more than 130 programs, our guided pathways work continues under the great leadership of Professors Laney Gastus and Susan Timroth Zavala. From October 25th to the 28th, Laney will be hosting Areas of Interest Jam Sessions for the college's 8 areas of interest, our passion and skills-focused groupings for all of our wonderful programs. If you aren't familiar with our areas of interest yet, please visit our website at laney.edu and click on the Dream tab to learn more. Faculty, students, classified professionals, and yes, alumni will host these 2-hour open jam sessions live on Zoom where students can learn about career opportunities, degree and certificate pathways, and most importantly, make connections with the Laney community. Laney College Guided Pathways isn't just another statewide initiative. Instead, it's a student-centered effort focused to help students and feel connected, engaged, and supported throughout their educational journey. Equity and student voices have been at the heart of the college's Guided Pathways work, and we have received statewide recognition for our projects thus far. Yesterday, Laney College was thrilled to officially welcome Ramon Knox as our new Vice President of Student Services. Vice President Knox comes to us from the San Diego Community College District, where he most recently served as the Interim Vice Chancellor of Student Services. Within his 20+ years in educational leadership, he has served in a variety of capacities and brings a strong background of student services, enrollment and research management, fiscal management, human resources, marketing, student life, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and educational management within multicultural settings. I hope that the whole Peralta community will join me in welcoming Vice President Ramon Knox. I would like to close my report tonight by remembering a great educator. On behalf of the dance department, as well as the greater Laney College community, it is with deep sadness that I report the passing of a longtime beloved dance faculty member, Dr. Zachariah Joof, or as he was known, Papa or Papa Zach. Dr. Joof had retired from the district prior to the pandemic, and his students and colleagues in dance had been looking forward to celebrating his long-lived 30+ year career at Laney this upcoming year. Within our community, he was a global music and dance giant who impacted the Bay Area, the US, and beyond. He is survived by his wife, Naomi, who had also retired as an outstanding member of Laney's dance department, and another colleague who worked tirelessly with our students. In addition to their service at Laney, I also learned that both had recently retired from Berkeley High School after 25 years of service, or over 25 years. Imagine that impact on our community, not only at Laney, but beyond. Dr. Joof was also accomplished in his professional realm as well, being honored recently in 2020 with the National Heritage Fellowship from the National Endowment for the Arts. And in fact, he was written up in the Alliance for California Traditional Arts as a Master of West African Drumming and Dance. The next board report will further memorialize Dr. Joof's legacy, and students of Dr. Joof will provide an official statement to the board in the near future. I request that we close tonight's meeting in Dr. Joof's memory, and with that, I will end my report this evening.
Good evening, President Reese, trustees, Chancellor Jackson, colleagues, and guests. I apologize for the sound of my voice. I am trying to get over a cold, so please bear with me. My report this evening highlights a few ways in which the College of Alameda intentionally and advances diversity, equity, and inclusion. I want to highlight some of the progress that we've made with regard to our Accesso program. As you may know, that our Accesso program primarily serves and support Latinx students who are planning to earn a degree or certificate or transfer within 3 years. While the Accesso mission is to expand opportunity and improve the educational attainment of Latinx students, the program is open to all COA students. Now in its 2nd year, the Accesso program is going strong. It increased its number of students from 60 to over 180 from last fall. The program has added a part-time counselor, student success coach, and 8 student peer mentors, and will be offering this fall 25 workshops led by faculty and staff on various topics designed to support student success, retention, and transfer. I'd like to thank our Accesso team for their great work and for taking leadership in collaborating with Puente and Student Life in terms of spearheading our campus's offering in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. On the instructional side of the house, we have wonderful faculty employing culturally responsive pedagogy in highlighting the beauty and significance of different cultures and our shared humanity. For example, art professor Drew Burgess encourages his students to creatively express their cultural background and experience in their art. This was wonderfully done by Ms. He Jing Ing, in which her art reflects a unique and beautiful synthesis of multicultural expression and artistic creativity. Ms. Ing grew up in Mexico City and now lives in the Bay Area. Her wonderful art provides an interesting visual bridge across cultures. Well done, Professor Burgess and Ms. Ing. Lastly, I would like to welcome 2 new mental health counseling interns to the College of Alameda. I'd like to welcome Erica Gibson and Elizabeth Montez. We are delighted to have both Erica and Elizabeth helping to support the mental health needs of our students, especially during these very, very challenging times. So join me in welcoming our new colleagues, and thank you very much for your time. And again, I apologize for my voice. This ends my report. Thank you very much.
Good evening and buenas tardes, President Mehouelley, Ruiz, trustees, Dr. Jackson, colleagues, and community members. My remarks for Berkeley City College this evening include a few updates. The first is several of my president colleagues have already remarked on the Latinx Heritage Month celebrations that have been taking place. And Berkeley City College earlier today, we had our very first both live and virtual event on campus. It was remarkable. It included a blessing, a land acknowledgement to the 4 directions, poems anchoring ancestral wisdom, and a history lesson on El Día de los Muertos and the creation of an altar. I invite each and every one of you to come by the BCC campus after you complete your health screening to offer your photos or your ofrendas to the BCC altar. This event also launched the Flex Your Vax campaign for student engagement and support around COVID-19 vaccination and other resources. The altar at BCC is anchoring the way that COVID-19 has impacted the Latinx community, but more broadly, what we often refer to as Black and Brown, often first-generation communities. And so that coalescence or the coming together of communities is evident with Black Lives Matter connections for the BCC altar. Events later this week also support the space of intersectionality. So Dr. Johnson opened up and other presidents have talked about diversity and equity work. And later this week on the Thursday evening event is the Joteria Loteria. So if you're familiar with the Loteria game, which is kind of like a bingo with images and you play to have bingo, there's a version out there supporting Joteria, which is a play on the intersectionality of gender identity, gender expression, sexual orientation. And certainly for myself, identifying as a queer Chicana, I find it to be incredibly beautiful for our community to have that space to acknowledge the intersectionality and especially the way that our communities connect in just a variety of ways. So very excited for all of these events, and I hope that you can attend. I also want to share that in late September, one of our colegas, one of our counseling faculty members, Fatima Shah, was profiled in an NPR podcast for the California Report. The story is titled Rolling Through California, A Family Kept Apart, How 9/11 Changed One Woman's Life. The beauty of this story is that it's a follow-up story 20 years after she was interviewed by Sasha Coca when Fatima was 17 years old. So it was a follow-up report, and Fatima attended Berkeley High, attended Berkeley City College, transferred to UC Berkeley, and has certainly been a part of the Berkeley City College community. And we just feel really honored to not only have her story, but the local Berkeley story situated in this public broadcast. So again, if you are able to catch that, it would be fabulous. In that article or in that report, she's about the 18-minute mark is where you can find her. As you know, on this board agenda, we have the recommendation to accept the funds from the California Institute of Regenerative Medicine, known as our Bridges to Stem Cell Research and Therapy. And we are just so excited at being able to provide student interns with paid internships to contribute to stem cell research. And my congratulations to the faculty, the leadership team, and the students who will be able to participate in this phenomenal experience over the next 5 years. As mentioned in the classified Senate report, Berkeley City College held a return to campus town hall last Thursday, October 7th during college hour. This was a follow-up to the Chancellor's District Town Hall and really provided us community space to talk about concerns and questions and really listen and hear to our colleagues as we are returning to campus slowly. I want to note that it was such a lively session. We had over 105 participants for BCC. The chat was engaged, questions, answers, the presentation, and my sincerest gratitude goes out as we continue to address the teaching and learning and facilities needs for BCC to welcome more colleagues and students. And as a follow-up, the students, the ASBCC has indicated that this Friday, October 15th during college hour will be the student town hall for return to campus as an effort to support students through making informed choices about hopefully enrolling in more face-to-face classes in the next semester. And I really just want to close in gratitude for the leadership amongst the BCC community. We've been doing really great work reviewing and revising our participatory governance processes and manual. I know that I've shared that throughout, and it's not one of the most exciting topics to talk about, but let me tell you, we are doing good, hard, important work. We are really streamlining for creating an environment where collective input informs our decision-making, and I'm really proud of the discussions and the work that we are doing at the college. So with that, I invite you to attend the ongoing Latinx Heritage Month events throughout the district, and that concludes my comments for this evening. Thank you very much.
Good evening, members of the board, members of the public, and Chancellor Jackson. Today, I am going to provide a report on the student vaccination and testing verification system that we put in place for the district. The task force for the return to campus, along with the Chancellor Cabinet, we identified the needs to have a system to track the student vaccination and also the weekly testing for the COVID-19 for the unvaccinated students. We partner with Oracle, and we partner also with the team at the campuses and also all the teams who is involved to the return to campus. We come together and we develop a systems and a process that will be put into the PeopleSoft systems, the campus solutions for the students, so we can track the weekly testing, and also we can track which students is vaccinated, which student is not vaccinated, and also if they clear or not clear. So we come up with the policy, and then we went to work, and we work on developing the system within the PeopleSoft campus solution, and we made it as friendly we can to make sure that students can quickly upload this information. We engage the students to test the system, and we engage faculty also to test the system to make sure that we have the right approach. And also the students help us create a video of instructions for the peers, so they can be able to upload the information quickly. And as of October 8th, this Friday, last Friday, we did a soft launch. And we are here, we are monitoring the system, and we are looking for any adjustment needed to make sure the system is working well for students. So with saying that, I would like Maisha to share a screen and play a video that the student did to show how all the students uploading the student vaccinations. While Maisha is doing that, I would like to add just thank you for the students, Amy Young, who worked with us from Laney student worker, and the Laney leadership for providing the staff and the student worker to work with us on this project. So, and
Okay, sorry.
go ahead.
Now just guys, give me a thumbs up if you hear, if the sound's coming through, okay?
So first you log into Campus Solutions and then click on Student Vaccination Tracker. There you'll be able to click record vaccination details and then pick your first dose to start with. Type in the date when you got the vaccine, and then where it says add attachment, you just add a picture of your vaccination card. If you got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, this is all you have to do. But if you got the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine, you'll have to add your second dose by clicking record vaccination details again, and then selecting dose 2 and adding your vaccination date. And then for the add attachment section, you just add the same exact vaccination card, and that's all there is to it.
Thank you, Maisha. That concludes my report.
Thank you, President, and thank you, CTO Mehouelley. Are there any questions? If not, I will turn it back over to the board president.
Any questions? I see none. Okay. All right. Thank you, presidents. Thank you, Antoine Mehouelley, and thank you, Chancellor. Let's move on to 4.1, public hearing and action.